welcome this wonderful artist we have right here, Zach Sanders. Let's give you one of these. So, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Fine, thank you. How are you?
It is great to have you with us at the Smooth Jazz Lounge.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm just so excited to be here.
You are most welcome. So, Zach sent me one of his tracks last year, and he's like, he was so sweet. He's like, could I please send you one of my tracks? I'm 21 years old, and I want you to tell them the story about that song that you sent to me.
Yeah, so Galaxy has a real amazing, funny, and humbling story. I was just a college student in my dorm room. I wrote the song in my dorm room. I recorded it in my dorm room. I had the opportunity to meet Marcus Anderson about 2 or 3 years ago. I won tickets to his concert. So I won tickets and I put like $10 in gas in my car so I could make it all the way to Spartanburg, South Carolina. I drove to Spartanburg and I played, end up bringing my instrument in the venue. I played for Marcus and I got his contact. I contacted him about a year later and he was able to get me in touch with the producer. And, I was still living the 20-year-old life. And, I ended up writing it and putting it out and I got it in front of the right ears, including Miss Sapphire. And it kind of spread like a wildfire from there.
And
And
it's
now I'm
doing
here.
really well, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am. We just hit 40,000 streams on Spotify.
All right, that's incredible.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
40,000 streams probably totals up to about $5.
I
Or a
I've
bit more than that.
Yeah, I've actually made a little over 100 from
That's incredible.
yeah, so it's not much. It's
It's
not
something though. That
it's
is
not a
really
real
good.
thing.
It's just a lot of plays, isn't it? For
Yes,
not
ma'am.
much money. And it's such a
Yeah.
shame because had you sold that as a single to
Then I would
40,000 people,
I would have
imagine.
went out to buy a
Sorry.
car.
But well, I love it. I really do. I know you're going to play it for us a bit later on. But tell
Yes,
us
ma'am.
this, when did you start playing the sax?
I started playing at about 11 years old. I was in 6th grade at Alcorn Middle School here in Columbia, South Carolina.
Okay. And why did you choose the sax?
My dad played the sax, then my older brother played it, then my older brother played it. Then it was sitting in the corner, so I picked it up one day and I went to my first day of band class, 6th grade, and I said, "Okay, I'm gonna be a musician."
All
and
right. So it
I,
runs in the family.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So was your dad in any groups that we would know?
He played for Benedict College. He was a music major at Benedict College. He did a lot of DJ work around Columbia, the Midlands area, Carolina area. So he definitely had a notable impact on my upbringing in music.
Okay. So is that where you clearly get your love of music from your dad?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And what about your mum?
My mom, she brought me up, singing in the church choir. She always made me go sing at church and taking me to the different local concerts. And she still sings in the house. And as you heard me when we were warming up earlier, I said, "Hey, mom, I'm warming up right now. You can't sing along right now." So she definitely she definitely had a big part of my upbringing and backing of my musical talent.
All right. And do your brothers still play?
My brothers don't play, but they're definitely all full force and pushing me
Mm-hmm.
now. They say I'm not as good as you, but I'll help you out. So
Oh, Lekaina Ackerman says your mum is amazing.
thank you so much. I appreciate it.
So you was also in a yeah. Are you able to turn up your mic a bit or talk more into your mic?
Okay, yeah, I'll turn it up for you.
Yeah, thank you. That was a request from DJ Spider.
Okay, can you hear me good, DJ?
Yes.
Perfect, perfect.
Yeah, that's great. And so you was also in a marching band at school.
Yes, ma'am. I was in marching band to around 11, 12th grade, and I started gigging pretty heavy, pretty regularly. As the other local musicians, I got my first opportunity to play, semi-professionally coming out of 8th grade, going into ninth grade with Gene Dyke's orchestra here in Columbia. They're a big band, so I was kind of involved in that and getting my own band started and playing with another young group here in Columbia. So around 11th, 12th grade, I kind of transitioned from marching band and concert and jazz band and kind of doing my own thing.
Right. And was you studying music at school?
No, I'm actually a biology major. That surprises a lot of people.
A biology major.
Yes, ma'am.
It's a bit different from jazz, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot different.
And what is it you hope to do with that?
I hope to be able to go to vet school eventually and pursue that.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Wow, that's incredible. That's really nice that you have that career behind you.
Yeah,
I think
definitely wanna.
needed nowadays because with artists now with this lockdown, a
Yes,
lot of them are
ma'am.
just really struggling because they can't
Mm,
perform, and so having something to fall back on is amazing. So you keep doing your studies.
definitely, definitely. I definitely was always nice to be well versed and have a well, a diverse background. So when stuff like COVID happens and stuff that shuts down the industry, it's like, okay, I have three more other streams of income coming in, so I'll be fine.
Yeah, yeah, that's brilliant. So, what song are you going to play for us first?
I'm gonna do "Pretty Girl." This song was produced by David P. Stevens. I'm pretty sure you'll like it. It's a really nice blend of jazz and R&B.
And David P. Stevens he's a guitarist in his own right, but he's also a producer.
Yes,
So his
yes,
name comes up a lot when I'm interviewing artists. So he's worked with so many great people. I think you're pretty good to be working with him.
yes, ma'am. Definitely,
Yeah. So
definitely.
how did
That's
you get to meet him?
just it's part of the Galaxy story. It's just a continuation of the Galaxy story. So I was able to do what I did with Galaxy. And it was able to. I made it on an editorial playlist on Spotify. My first day of release. Somebody on Spotify's editorial team heard it when I first sent it to them. So I noticed that my song was on the editorial playlist with Dave Koz, Gerald Albright, David Marcus, Vandal. I noticed it was on there with them, but it wasn't showing in my account. I just could see that my song was on there, so I could kind of tell that they were kind of testing the waters. So 2 or 3 months out, I got an official email from Spotify. Hey, you've been added to the editorial playlist. So from there, David was able to hear Galaxy from that playlist, and he said, "Hey, this is a different flavor. He's bringing something different to the table." He contacted me, and it's sent me the track, and it was history from there.
Oh, so let's hear it.
This is Pretty Girl.
Pretty girl, it's your eyes. I wanna get to know you. Call me when you're alone. Grab your headphones. I wanna play something for you. Pretty girl, it's your smile. It's your eyes. I wanna get to know you. Call me when you're alone. Grab your headphones. I wanna play something for you. Pretty girl, it's your smile. It's your eyes. I wanna get to pretty girl, it's your smile. It's your eyes. I wanna get to know you. Call me when you're alone. Grab your headphones. I wanna play something for you. Pretty girl, it's your smile. It's your eyes.
When you're alone, grab your headphones. I wanna play something for ya, pretty girl. It's your smile. All right, if you at home, I want you to sing this line with me. It's your eyes.
You're
I wanna get to know you. Call me when you're alone. Grab your headphones. I wanna play something for ya. That is pretty girl, pretty girl.
That was a nice bit of a cappella at the end.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, you do have a wonderful voice. When did you realize you had a stunning voice?
All right, look, I have to do the math. It's okay, November now, maybe like 4 or 5 months ago. You know,
Just
he sent me the song. He sent me the song, and I said, okay. I realized I can sing now. That was my very first time singing or really attempting to sing professionally.
wow.
He said, Zach, I know you don't sing, but I think you should give it a try. He sent it. I said, it's kind of high for me. I don't know if I can do that. He said, no, just do it. Just try it. And I said, okay. And I sent it. I tried it, and it was awesome.
So that voice has been hidden inside you for so many years. Well, I say so many. It's only 22 years. Cause you only,
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
but yeah, that is stunning. So do you think you'll be doing more vocals on your tracks?
Definitely, definitely. I have a release coming in January. I'm not providing vocals on this one. This is with Emily Thomas. Emily Thomas. We were able to record. I was able to do it virtually. Of course, because of the shutdown situation. I had a virtual session out of one of the, most premier studios in downtown LA. Her and David were able to set it up and send me the track. So just let everybody know, Emily Thomas, Zach Sounds. We have the Catalyst coming in January 2021. Definitely be on the lookout because it's a treat. It's definitely a treat. It's so many different flavors and vibes and genres just merged into one. It's something for everybody.
That's great. I cannot wait to hear that. Rose Lady Edmond, she says she loves your background.
Thank you. Little.
Yeah, tell us a
This
bit
is the
about that.
Yeah. So this is a little bit of everybody who has made me over the years. I keep my record player. I don't know if you guys can see it. Keep my record player behind me, and I keep my Grover Washington record right here. That's Wine Light. So that's my good luck charm. I keep that on.
Oh,
Little bit of everybody. I have Earth, Wind and Fire, Quincy Jones, Cool and the Gang, Prince and the Revolution. Shout out to Marcus, Tina Marie, Parliament, Luther Vandross, Shaka Khan, Atlantic Star, The Temptations. Zach Sanders, of course. So I have a little bit of everybody up here on the wall. I feel like it gives me my superpowers when I'm playing.
Belfast Bill, he has asked, how do you decide what goes where on your wall of vinyl?
Um, Kind of where I can get it to stick without without falling, cause I don't like to use anything that's too harsh on them, so I don't want to use like any strong adhesive. So wherever I can get them to puzzle and stick up there without falling down. But there's no real placement of them, just kind of sticking them up there, make it look cool.
So do you still collect vinyl now?
Yes, I do. So the Grover Washington record I show you. I actually have the original. I still listen to it. I was listening to Wine Light. I'm gonna have that. I have the original Bad Michael Jackson record. I have lots and lots of I'm looking at about 100 of them right here, right here in this stack. It's a whole lot of them. I
So you
have
have to organize them.
Yes, ma'am. I have to organize them, but I believe I should have I have also BB King over here out of view. I should have the record to every one on the wall, including Bob Marley and Parliament. Actually, I have Parliament actually a few feet away from me. I have Parliament.
And I
So
see the bongo drums too.
yeah. This is I was started out as a percussionist. My dad got me started out. These are African drums. I don't want to say the wrong name of them,
Mm.
but yeah, we have a whole wall of African drums also. So that's another part that I missed out on my upbringing. I was started out as a percussionist.
All right. But you still got time. Like I say, you're still very young.
Yes, yes. There a whole a
So
lot
I'm
of time.
guessing that Grover Washington Jr. was one of your inspirations.
Yeah, I feel he was not somebody that I just studied thoroughly. I think more like Cannonball Adderley was somebody that from the jump I was just transcribing.
Hmm.
Um, I like Grover, but it's more like there's a few specific standards by him that I really like and I really study hard. More so, just his whole rather than his whole catalog. Just like Wine Light, just those key songs.
Yeah. So you, as a young musician, you clearly love smooth jazz, but you want to try and get into that R&B. So,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, I think when you are young, it's nice to have somebody like you bringing that smooth jazz to a younger crowd. So I think it's really great. But I know it probably makes sense being more in the R&B
Hmm.
genre.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, and that's always been a goal for me to bring. I feel like the genre has to keep going and has to keep evolving. We have to keep I say they have to keep handing the baton off to the younger generation, handing it off to us. Just listen to the reaction I'm getting from my music here in the Carolinas and the area. People are loving it. I'm able to bring, younger audiences that have never experienced live music of this type, instrumentals of this type before. So that's always been a goal to me to bring smooth jazz, not only to bring smooth jazz to R&B, but bring R&B to smooth jazz. Bring R&B listeners to smooth jazz, bring smooth jazz listeners to R&B.
Yeah.
And it allows me to spread my music to a more diverse group of audiences. It allows me to do a more diverse group of bookings and shows. So
Hmm.
I'm definitely grateful for having being able to have my feet in both fields.
Yeah, that's great. And Debbie Gold, she has a question because we was talking about the drums earlier. She says, does
Mhm.
your family have a strong African background?
Um, I'd have to ask my daddy for more of our family. Here's my dad's from Sumter, South Carolina. He's from the country.
Right.
We're all country boys, and that's what we love here in South Carolina. But I'm not too sure on the African. I just know he used to. I think this is actually a handmade drum, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
Um, Before I was born, he would go and they would take all the materials and stretch it over here and do what all was necessary to prepare the drum. So this one is of course a store bought drum, but this I believe is a handmade, and the bottom wood may be something like an Osage orange
Hmm.
type wood. So it's a really high quality drum. We've had them for 22 years. They've been here all my life. So they're
Oh,
handmade drums. So
oh, that must be really special to have.
yeah,
You do
definitely.
actually play it?
Not as That's about as that is about as much as I do. I usually will let my niece kind of tap on him if I have a child that's old enough to not damage it. I'll let him play on it while I'm down here practicing or something, just to get him involved in the music.
Oh. And so, um, you have a day job. As
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry
you
about
have
that. I
your
didn't mean
day
to cut
job,
you off.
you have your music, and you have your studying.
Yes, ma'am.
Must be pretty busy. When do you have time to have a free time, free moment to yourself?
Usually, I usually practice around like 7, 8 o'clock at night. Um, so I always say I'm waking my neighbors up. I know they hear me. I woke up, I think 6, 7, 8 o'clock this morning playing that Grover Washington record.
Yeah.
I'm a night owl and I'm a morning person too. I go to sleep late and I wake up again and I wake up early. So I'm always up using my time while I'm always doing something. If I'm on a gig, if I'm working, I'm preparing to do an interview. I'm always sitting down. I'm doing my research on my phone. I've
Mhm.
just dropped my recent clothing line, Sax brand. These are my shirts that we
I wanted
carry.
to ask you about that.
Yeah, I can definitely give you some information on that. So I'm always doing some research. As I was waiting here to start, we were sending out orders, fulfilling some orders. So I'm always just using every second, every millisecond of the day to my advantage.
So you don't have any time to do fun things? I know this is all fun, but other things.
Um, like
Sports.
yeah, on the weekends, yeah, I'll go and sometime we'll go and go on a hike or something like that. Of course, I'm a country boy. I'm here in South Carolina, so we like to be outside
Mhm.
in the in the outdoors in nature. I'll take my dog on a walk, or we'll do
Yeah,
something like that. But
you're really,
other than that, did you say that? I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry about
you're
that.
really sensible. I like
Oh,
that. Yeah,
thank you. I really appreciate it.
yeah. And so, yeah, tell us about your merchandise.
Yeah, so this is Sax brand. This is a wearable art. I like to say all my saxophonists, all my sax lovers. It's definitely for us, but it's also this ties back to bringing jazz into R&B. This is ties into, and I'm going to get to it. Might not make sense right now. This ties into bringing jazz into the modern world. So my goal was to create a product that can, be worn regularly. We have people create merchandise, and it's nice, but it's not really something that you can say, hey, I'm gonna wear this to the club or something. It's just a little much. A lot of the items I've purchased in the past, so I wanted to create something that was sleek, simple, smooth, that I could toss on and it'll match with some jeans and a nice pair of loafers, or if I put on a sweatshirt, it'll match, dressed down or halfway dressed up. I can go on a nice night out on the town with a sack shirt and not be, have somebody's face, on the front or back of my shirt like I've seen a lot or something. So that was my goal, just to create a wearable art and bringing something as sax. It's a jazz instrument. It's familiar, but it's also it's a cool word. When you see sax, you might think of Kenny G. You might think of the extra. There's so many different things you can think of when you see the logo and the sax and the sound wave. So it just kind of is something that brings, when you're out wearing your shirt, somebody that might not is not around music and saxophones might see your shirt and say sax. Oh, that's cool looking. I don't play the sax. I don't listen to jazz music, but hey, I like that shirt. I'll grab one. And that's just my way of thinking about, having something that can relate to not just jazz fans, not just R&B fans, but music fans as a whole. So we can kind of bring the instrumental artists and the instruments and the smooth jazz and everything that comes with it into, like, the modern world, into the mainstream music world.
That's incredible. It really is.
Thank
So
you.
what other things do you have? Do you have t-shirts? Do you have what do you call them? Like hoodie?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have
Yes, we don't carry hoodies, the actual hoodies at the time, but we have sweatshirts available. We have them from small to 4XL. We have them all in stock. We have white. We have black, as you can see here. We have white in both t-shirts,
Mhm.
and the sweatshirt. So if you'd like to purchase one, definitely give me a follow, reach out to me. I'll be sure to
Yeah,
send
where can
stuff.
people purchase it from?
Yeah, I have my store available. I can get the link posted somewhere in here. I can share it with you to have you share it for me. I
Yeah,
don't have it. I can't type it in the chat right now, but I'll definitely be sharing it with you. And I
yeah.
have my stores up and live and running.
Uh-huh. So yeah, when we finish with you, you can type it into the chat. So I
Okay,
hope
perfect.
you're all wearing sax t-shirts one day.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely like to spread it as many places as possible. If you've
Yeah.
n- never heard of Zach Sanders music, yeah, definitely.
Oh, you're so sensible. I'm gonna give you one of these.
Thank you, thank you.
So shall we hear Galaxy?
Galaxy.
Yeah.
This is the song that started it all. That is Galaxy.
So they are your two releases so far.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Pretty Girls. And they're both really great tracks. So you said that you did Galaxy in your dorm?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah. I set this exact microphone here and that exact interface up, and I made sure I recorded at like 2 or 3 o'clock where I wasn't annoying anybody, and I started writing and recording right there in my room.
That's great. It really is. How long have you been working on it?
I it took me almost a year to if I'm including getting the track, and it took me maybe like a month to actually come to a final version of Galaxy, and then the rest was recording because I recorded the song, and then I sent it to Marcus, and he said, okay, basically we can do better. So he said, okay, I wanted to sit in the studio with you. So he brought me up to North Carolina where he stays, and he showed me how to record, but using a different song. So I came back and I did that one, and I also redid Galaxy. So the second time did it was the final product I have now, and it was just like a night and day difference being able to sit in the studio with artists such as him, and learn the techniques and principles behind doing this and how to do certain things. So it definitely played a huge part on my sound working with Marcus and putting out Galaxy, and it was just not a trial run because it ended up turning out very well, but it was definitely a good start.
Yeah. And why did you call it Galaxy?
Because the space at the beginning, and kind of the repetition, the dig a dig and dig it down, and the it gives me a space feeling like I'm in the galaxy,
Hmm.
and the way that the horns are stacked, it reminds me of like a Star Trek type intro, like a ding a dig a dig. I can't I can't explain it. And it was mixed by Alan Litton, and he said the same thing. He says, "Yeah, man, it reminds me of the old school smooth jazz when I grew up, the Rippingtons and stuff." So I said, "Okay, yeah, that was the goal for it." So I think I evoked the correct emotions when I wrote the song.
Yeah. You are great. I love you.
Thank you, thank you.
And the fact that you know all these artists as well, the Rippingtons, gosh. I mean, I listened to some of their music. So how would you have heard about the Rippingtons? Would your parents have played their music?
Pandora. I still have my very first Pandora account. I need to go switch over the email because the email attached to it is probably 10 years old, and I don't have it anymore. But I still have that exact Pandora account. Pandora, I tell people, is so awesome because I was able. And of course, I'm talking about Pandora Internet Radio. If you're not
Yeah.
familiar, I was able to plug in my first few artists that I was able to find. I found Gerald Albright, so I plugged in his music, and then when they start suggesting different artists, they have thumbprint radio. That kind of helped me develop my sound.
Hmm.
Having access to music. That's why I think platforms such as yours, Smooth Jazz Lounge, is so important because it gives people like me that I might not have all access to. I might not have the know-how what records to look, even if it is on YouTube, what to look up. So stations like yours allows people to discover new music. Key people, key artists, standard music that's out. So really just listening to shows like yours and listening to Pandora and Apple Music, iTunes, and just discovering music till I could find a sound and found people that I could say, okay, hey, I like their sound. I wanna sound like them, and just study and continue to study not only their sound, their music, their business, how their branding, how they do things, how they move in the
Yeah.
industry. So that was a big thing for me, streaming services and radio platforms and Pandora.
Hmm. That's great. Floyd Paris has a question. He says, "Where in South Carolina are you from?" He has friends in Bluffton.
Bluff. If I'm not, from Columbia, South Carolina, so I'm here in the capital here, right smack in the center of the state, and that's a South Carolina term. I just said right smack. I think I just gave away where I was from. Bluffton, if I'm not mistaken, is about 2.5 hours from here, near the coast, near the Low Country, near Charleston, South Carolina. If I'm not mistaken, but I'm not exactly sure.
And have you ever left America?
No, I'm looking to come do a show over in London eventually, over in the
Oh,
UK.
yes.
But I haven't left America yet. Hopefully, I'll be going to do some shows with over with David soon in LA. If the COVID didn't shut the industry down like it did, I would have probably recorded Pretty Girl over there with him. So I'm
Mm.
kind of doing everything remote right now, but I'm definitely looking forward to getting out and playing for some different audiences in
Yeah.
London and everywhere really.
So you mentioned you was in a band when
Yes,
you was
ma'am.
at school. And what kind of music was that band playing?
Um, so my very first opportunity we played big band music, and the story behind that, not the story, but the funny thing about it is, I was coming out of middle school. I ended up playing on the same band with my band teacher that I just finished learning from. I just left band class with him maybe a month ago, and I went to one of the concerts, and he ended up playing for that group. I sat in the audience, and the turnout for that show wasn't very good, so I was one of three people in the audience. I sat on the front row. So he said, "Hey, young man," this was like during the intermission. He said, "Hey, young man, do you play an instrument?" I said, "Yeah, I play saxophone." He said, "Okay, I want you to come sit in with us sometime. We rehearse at such and such." So I showed up, and I started playing big band music with people that were 30, 30, 40, sometimes 50 years older than me. And that that brought it out of me. That separates the boys from the men right there.
So that was your first experience of being in a band.
Yeah, my very first time gigging and going out playing, and then
How
I
long were you
eventually
with them for?
I've done stuff for them as recently maybe as 3 or 4 years ago, but as a consistent member, I'd say maybe about 2 years.
Hmm.
About 2 years, I was on the main lineup, the main roster for the group, and so
And you have a band right now.
I have a band right now, but I'm as we're transitioning. That's why I've been telling everybody how things are kind of working as we transition from the R&B to the jazz side. I've been traveling more with a keyboard player and a DJ at this point. We have the Comfy Couch Kickback, Sumter, South Carolina, December 5th, Millennium Studios. Just like to throw that out there. I've been traveling with a keyboard player and a DJ. I've been getting a better reception from the younger audience, because that is something that they're a little more used to. When they're going to see their different artists perform, they're used to having a DJ there to do drops, and keyboard player to actually give that live sound. So I feel like with just the keyboard player and my DJ, I'm able to attain a live sound, still relate to that younger audience who goes, and they don't want to hear a drummer inside. That's kind of not what they want to hear. They're used to beat machines. I have to kind of work with that. So I'm able to hit that audience, and I'm able to kind of pull in the audience who says, okay, I still want to hear a keyboard or a piano player. So I have a band, but I usually don't pull out my full like 5, 6 piece band unless it's an actual jazz festival or somebody's requesting a full band.
Hmm. And have you been asked to do weddings?
Yeah, yeah. So I do a good bit of weddings here in South Carolina. Of course, we're kind of closed down right now, but
Yeah.
I do a good bit of weddings, and I forgot about my Lamar. I play with Lamar Brace. He's a wedding group out in North Carolina. Lamar Brace wedding group. We I play with him maybe every 2 or 3 months. We'll do a wedding reception, and that's a full like 8, 9 piece show band.
Well, that's really good. I'm glad that you're still active doing the music and doing your studies as well. So I think that's just brilliant. And so we're going to have one more song from you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And what's this last song you're going to do for us?
This is Best Part by Daniel Caesar. All right, if you got a free hand, I want you to take one hand. I want you to get the groove. Snap your fingers with me. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning into the Smooth Jazz Lounge. I am Zach Sanders. Please be sure to follow me on social media, ZACH Sanders, SANDERS. Huge thank you to DJ Sapphire for having me. You know, everyone, I want to remind you that we have the sax shirts available. I'll be sure to get you the link, and I have a release coming with David P. Stevens, Emily Thomas out of LA. Very excited for this release, so be sure to keep up with me because we have some very huge stuff coming in all genres.
He's so good, isn't he?
Thank you.
I like that. So we can find you on Facebook.
Yes, ma'am. I'm available on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I'm active on all platforms. Definitely remember to also follow me on Spotify and Apple Music and all streaming platforms.
Fantastic. I'm going to give you another one of these because you are pretty incredible.
Thank you.
So young, so talented, really polite. It's really nice actually interviewing somebody like yourself. You're just really sensible, very mature. Yeah,
Really appreciate it.
And we had a comment by Richard Randolph. He says, love it, sounding like Marcus Anderson.
Yeah. A lot of transcribing.
Wesley Hall, hey, how you doing? Rose Lady Edmond, she's your biggest fan, I think.
Yes. Thank you so much for tuning in. She is one of my, consistent supporters. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You even posted your website details, where to get
Thank
your
you.
merchandise in that feed. That was
I appreciate it so much.
but do put it on here as well when you
Yes,
get a
ma'am.
chance. But yeah, thank you again. You have been awesome. And where can people get your music?
You can purchase my music, stream, download, or purchase. Everything comes to me, and it really helps me can be able to continue to release music. I'm on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, iTunes, Google Play, any store you can imagine. If you type in Zach Sanders Galaxy or Zach Sanders Pretty Girl, a few different options will come up where you can purchase the song. But Amazon and Google Play are kind of the main ones I'm telling people if they want to, go and buy the song, or
Sure.
iTunes.
Wonderful. Well, thank you again, Zach. Good luck with
Thank you.
and have a wonderful Thanksgiving tomorrow.
You all do the same. You have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Yes, we will do. We
Don't
don't celebrate.
don't eat too much turkey.
We should. Yeah, we don't celebrate it here.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I will
Still a good,
celebrate. I'll be doing
still
my
a good
thing.
reason. Still a good excuse to eat a lot of food. So
Yeah, and I shall do that tomorrow.
yeah. Thank you so much. It was nice speaking with you.
Oh, thank you. I think
Thank you.
you've got a lot of new fans as a result of this today.
Yeah, please be sure to keep up with me, guys.
Yeah, and do put your details into the chat right there where we can get your t-shirts from.
I definitely will. Thank you so much.
All right then, take care now.
You too.